Do you want me here or not? You
Oh,
want me
yes.
to leave?
Oh, yes.
You want me to leave?
No, I want you here.
You said, oh, yes.
I can't read the questions for myself. So, boys and girls, girls and boys, for the first time in a while, here we are, yours truly, the Field Marshal, and Her Royal Majesty, the other Field Marshal, Pim, Queen of Pirates, first of a name, the unpoked mother of puppies, the unimpressed.
Unpressed.
The unimpressed.
Oh.
Well, that too, unpressed. Goodness me, soldier. Not that I'm much more to be going by, to be fair. RF Bede, first in the house. Good to see you.
Yes.
Yes.
Travis second.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Indeed. Ahoy, says
So-
Travis. So you know the drill. You ask the questions, we answer the questions, make the questions good. Append large sums of cash to your questions that are urgent. Don't ask a question more than once. We'll get to it or we won't. And the first person who comments on Pim's hair will be the first person who comments on Pim's hair.
Uh-huh.
I like it. I think it's cool. That's for you, Harry, even though you're not here yet because you're probably still in bed.
Ah, Jesus.
Yes. Bang.
I thought I was going to hit my own.
Yeah. Go on. I'll stop playing with that. I was just playing with it because I was,
Why?
Because I knocked it. I was trying to put
Jesus.
it back, but I'll let you do it. Right. Tell us
Yes.
what's what.
Deborah says something. Hi, Bart and Pim. Hi, Deborah.
Hello, Deborah.
How
nice
you doing?
To see you nice.
Slap those cheeks. Yeah, slap those cheeks. That's okay.
Yes.
Oh, what the hell? Jumpy chat. Another YouTube channel I follow gives imaginary points for the top 3 people who join.
Okay, well, you can all have 50 billion imaginary points.
I think who blah blah RF Beads should have most points. He joined
yes.
first.
Well, 51 billion points for RF Bede.
And Travis second.
50 billion.
And Deborah third.
49 billion
Okay,
imaginary points.
good. And now save up on those imaginary points, because we never know when you can use them.
Just like your imaginary points that you have with me.
Yeah, I never get to use them.
Richard's in the house.
Yes.
Good to see you, Rich.
What the hell? Things
know.
are popping up all over the place.
Headache.
Yeah.
Headache.
Okay, questions.
Mm-hmm.
Don't comment on Bart's hair.
You can if you like, but you won't have much to say about it.
Morning, Tracy.
Good morning, Tracy.
Is it cold where you are as well? It was very frosty here this morning.
Frosty.
I dyed my hair blue once in the early 90s.
There we go.
I think I've had all sorts of colors in the 90s, to be fair.
Yes.
Green is good.
In reality, those colours are quite enhanced. In reality, it's not remotely that actual colour. It's a lot less vibrant. I think it looks cool on the camera.
My camera, up until you changed it last night, made me look very, very blue. And then I woke up and it looked almost red.
Yes. Will you
No, it
stop
looks
pissing
more
around
purple.
down there?
Courtesy of the webcams and their interpretations.
Oh, God. I think I'm going to get some actual proper cameras.
Yeah, he's never finished buying shit.
No, I'm never finished buying shit.
Buffy, do we have to?
Will you stop pissing around down there?
Nope.
Nope, she won't.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly. That means they're truly imaginary, Pim. Yeah.
Imaginary points. Yes.
Yeah. I don't like imaginary points.
And no singing.
It's kind of pointless to have imaginary points that you never get to use. We have the bobbleheads.
You're supposed to use your imagination and use them in your head.
Well, what's the fun of that?
Bobbleheads?
I don't know what she's talking about.
I
We
don't
have
know
the
what that means either.
bobbleheads. Do you have bobbleheads?
I don't know. That's a bobblehead. That's a Dr. Gregor head.
Yeah. I'm not sure where your heat
If
comes
you
in.
don't eat your fruits and vegetables, you might die.
Don't do it in B flat, though.
Right.
Here's a question, I think. It's this question.
Yay.
Why is us carnivores tan so nicely and don't burn? What's the mechanism in play here?
Okay, this is a bit speculative, so it's not definite or hardcore or scientifically validated, but the speculation is that when you consume any significant amount of omega-6 polyunsaturated fatty acids in your diet, which you will do if you base your diet on plantivorous nonsense and avoid nice healthy animal saturated or largely saturated animal fat, that omega-6 gets included into the lipid rafts of your cell membranes and etc., and as such render it vulnerable to all sorts of problems, including sunburn, more so. And it takes like several years, or it's got a half-life of several years to get the stuff out of your cell membranes. So it could be, you know, a goodly while after consuming your last polyunsaturated fatty acids that it's all gone. Go on.
Is that the difference between you and me? Because you always get red like a fucking lobster.
Yeah, but then I go brown and you don't burn, but you also don't go brown. You remain steadfastly Swedish in the skin department in some areas.
No, I go brown to a point.
Yes.
And then not beyond that.
Yes. I don't know.
But I don't really go red and burn myself very easily.
That's what I'm saying. It's all a speculation because it's something that's...
Well, I haven't been consuming any considerable amount of seed oils for, I don't even know, 15, 20 years.
20?
20.
15 or 20?
Yeah. Okay.
Good.
Rich says that it was 1 degree when he woke up.
Oh,
it was
Jesus.
-1 when I woke up.
Yeah.
I think I woke up earlier than you. Or it's just warmer up there.
Across there.
Across there, not up there. Across there.
Yeah.
Across and up there.
We're at exactly the same latitude as Richard is.
Are we?
Yeah.
Okay.
People don't understand that. Nelson and
No,
Wellington
I don't.
are at the same latitude. They're not. People think that Wellington
I thought
is
he was
north.
further up.
No.
Okay.
Well, he's north of Wellington City, and as such might be slightly further north of where we are, because we're actually slightly south of Nelson City. So, yes, okay, up there. Fuck you. Have it.
Well, I thought he was a lot further up than that. Not just slightly up.
No, he's from Wellywood.
Okay. Pat says...
Yes.
How are you feeling post-fast? Are your parameters all back to normal?
Yes, except I haven't put on weight, which I wouldn't expect to, because why would I? It was fat that was being burned off to replace the water, so my water stats are about the same. My fat stats are still slightly down. My overall weight is still slightly down. And everything else is back to normal with blood pressure and everything else, yes. Shush. Hey, shush.
We got super chats.
Yay, super chat.
This must be for me, because you don't have any hair. Magenta hair dye contribution.
Very good. Come on in. Come here. Apparently Joel's going to start smacking things with a hammer.
Yeah.
Okay. Good, thanks, neighbour. Julian's in the house. We've
Julian
missed you, Julian.
says, love the hair, Pim. You look like a Final Fantasy character. I love Final Fantasy. I spent all Christmas playing Final Fantasy 7 when I was, I don't know how old I was then.
Is that
I love
generated
it.
using Unreal Engine?
No. Do you even know what game it is? It's not a first-person shooter.
But it's graphic intensive, isn't it?
Yes.
I bet you it is. I bet you it's Unreal Engine. If somebody that knows, let us know.
It's a fucking PlayStation game. Or it was then.
Yeah.
It wasn't even on computers.
Come on.
I don't think they got on to computers until Final Fantasy X or something.
Die waren so tuste Hund.
Yes, I just need a very super large sword or something. So it will look like...
Is that a euphemism?
No, it is not. It is not.
Oh. It's never a
Do not-
euphemism.
Nope, so stop asking.
Oh.
I'm looking for questions. I think Miss Pagan said that she's lurking.
Kan jag släcka news?
Travis says... Lack of linoleic acid in diet.
Yep. Yep. That feathers in with the
Okay.
explanation I gave before as well, Travis. Good. Travis and I are going to do some collaborative stuff at some point soon as well
Good.
on his Fine channel and probably on this Fine channel too.
Excellent.
We're going to talk about things and stuff.
Tracy is explaining the coloured heads next to the subscriber name.
Oh, right, okay.
We
yes.
can't see them on Restream.
Yeah, because we're not looking at that. Although the chat window is actually up on Google, and it was up on that screen over there, but it seems to have... It's still up, it's just minimised for some reason. So if you did want to read that for any reason, there it is.
And Tracy has always wondered why Gregor's head hasn't fallen off.
Yeah, me too.
Not in B flat. I'm never going to mention his name again, so stop asking about him.
Eat your fruits and vegetables.
Shut up. Fuck.
Paul Shifton, sit up.
Yeah. I've noticed I don't burn so easily too. Okay. Okay.
So far we've had one question, by the way.
Another one coming up soon.
Oh, good.
I got red without the tenderness, then brown a few days later.
Excellent.
I have a very red-brown colour, if you like. So he used to think that I always burnt myself when I wasn't. And then I never stopped being red anyway, because I have a kind of a red-brown tone.
Was that before I found out that you were an Indian? Partly.
No, and yes. You kind of kept coming back to that for a few years, to be fair. You burnt yourself. And then the next morning I'm fine.
Yeah. Nope.
Question.
Yes.
Dr. Ken Berry said that his wife Nisha felt less inflammatory when eating some plants in her diet rather than when she was on carnivore. Why would this be?
I really can't speak sensibly about the feelings of another individual who I've never met. One who finds me refreshing, by the way. She said so. She said, I find him refreshing. When she was describing me, directly after her husband described me as having the kind of presentation style that would make a sailor sound more like a preacher. And then she said, I find him refreshing. But no, I have no idea why she would feel that way. The most anti-inflammatory diet known to man is the carnivore diet. Anyone who says otherwise...
But I've described that as well. So with my fucked up sinuses, the best I've ever been has been when I've been very low carb, but actually eaten a lot of vegetables at the same time. And I have never managed to get that far with diets on just carnivore or anything else.
I don't know.
Don't know.
We might be outliers, or they might be outliers.
No idea. Or we're deficient in something. I have no idea.
Yes. Penis deficiency.
Big swords, I think.
Yes.
Yes. Are we married?
In the eyes of the law we are. It's a de facto situation because we've been together more than 4 years, and in New Zealand law that means in effect we are married even though we are not legally married. I was married once before. I didn't like it much.
You didn't like it much?
No.
Does it feel different in any way?
Well, you're a bit different from that character, and she's a lot different from you.
So what?
They really
does
love
it
each
feel
other too.
Does it feel different to be married rather than not
to be
being
legally,
married?
No. Actually, oh, shut up, Fluffy.
Oh, but they're making noise, you know.
I know. Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another question.
Yay.
Is there any importance in the calcium to phosphorus ratio in the diet, 1:1?
Yeah. Yeah, it's quite an important thing to have enough of phosphorus and not too much of calcium, or the other way around. I'm not sure exactly that 1:1 is the right ratio.
Let's see.
What I do know is that everything that you need by way of micronutrient is found in the muscle meat of ruminant animals. You don't need to supplement with anything. Full stop. So yes, it's important, but it's generally in balance in meat.
What if you eat bones?
Then you're a dog. Dogs eat bones.
Some people do. They
Sure.
eat like chicken bones and stuff,
Oh, well, you know.
especially if they're mushy.
Yeah.
Is the ratio still gonna be okay?
Never seen anyone present with a problem. But then
This
I've also
one has
never,
problems and she eats bones.
well, I've never met anyone that's a person that eats bones either, so...
Now you're going to get several comments, people eating bones.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Hutt Valley is about 20-something kilometres from Welly.
Yeah. So you get, when you leave Wellington and you go up that steep hill and then it's in there.
In there.
I think it's in there anyway.
So, thought Bart was dry fasting. Did that end?
It did. Have you not been keeping up? Shafalo. Do watch my videos on my channel and you'll be fully up to date with what's happened with that. Yes, it ended. We decided to end it.
We shouldn't talk about computer games, so... It's not an FPS.
No, we know it isn't. That doesn't mean it's not generated by Unreal Engine if it's got
And then it
graphically.
says, what's your favourite FPS? It better be Halo.
Christ, I stopped playing those after Duke Nukem 3D. So.
I only like FPS on PC. And I think I tried Halo a couple of times and didn't like it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I only ever got as far as Duke Nukem. So I played Doom for a bit when that first came out, and that was all the rage. Then I played Heretic, and then Duke Nukem came out, and then I was done. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, there was another question that we will get to at some point. It's new. Question, how bad is coffee when healing from autoimmune disease?
It's quite individual as to how someone reacts to coffee. Caffeine is a toxin as well as being a stimulant. It can affect all sorts of systems in all sorts of different ways. Some people will react very strongly to coffee, others not so much at all. Ideally, the ideal amount of coffee to consume as a human is none, because it is a toxin. It's put into the beans of the coffee plant precisely to discourage people and animals and whatever from eating them. Not to mention all the oxalates and stuff.
See how calm she is up here. There's something wrong with her. She must be sick.
Oh.
She hasn't fidgeted or kicked or spun around.
Well, maybe she knows she can't get away with it when she's sitting with Mummy. It's only Daddy that she can say, "Oh, Daddy, can you slick in Nasa?"
Well, yeah, she's a lot worse with you, but she usually doesn't sit still for very long.
No, du kan inte slicka min näsa. Slicka brain.
Okay, next one.
Yes, good.
I have reintroduced organic pot-set Greek yogurt a week ago after 6 months and the belly is feeling a ton better. That's cool.
Cool. Yeah, alright, if that works for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to start eating my kimchi and see if that's gonna do anything there. I keep forgetting. It's not that I don't like it, it just sits there and I forget about it.
Fair.
Travis was thinking about Thursday, but we will have to confirm.
Yep, cool bananas.
And don't do the fucking voice. Greggy's neck is entirely fibre.
Happy? Yeah.
Happy 10 months, Julian.
That'll be 10 months membership.
Happy 10 months, Julian.
Indeed. We've been happy with your 10 months.
Yes. Let's make it a year.
Ted, on the other hand, he's never happy. He takes his cut out of everything.
After a pilot carnivore trial, what are fun hypotheses to test?
Depends on what your area of interest is, Travis. Perhaps we'll talk about that as one of our topics when we do our collaborative doings. Yes, there are many, many questions unanswered scientifically with regards to human nutrition, like all of them, actually.
Yeah, what would be fun would be something that you're interested in.
Yes.
What do you want to know?
What would you like to make some kind of inference about? And then we design the best possible experiment that we could design, given the limitations of what we can do when experimenting on humans.
Very good. Okay. Watched Bart's interview with Dr. Sarah Saldivar last night. Good stuff, per usual.
Excellent. Good.
How do I get enough calcium on carnivore?
By eating a lot, or a sufficient amount, really, of muscle meat. That's where you'll find the calcium in the carnivore diet. Mussels have a large supply, or a relatively large supply, of calcium inherently in them as part of the contractile machinery. It's stored in a little organelle called the sarcoplasmic reticulum, and it's used in the initiation of muscle contractions. That's where you'll find it. It's a lot less calcium than you'll find in many other sources of calcium. However, given that your diet is not one that blocks calcium, if you're eating carnivore, you don't need a great deal of calcium, and so as it turns out, there's sufficient there. It's almost as if we've been doing it for 4.5 million years at least, and our bodies have got used to that.
I have a question, but not for you.
Oh,
for
fine.
them. What challenge do you want Bart to make? I want him to sit in the river down here challenge.
The sit in the river challenge.
It's cold as fuck.
And you want to video it and have people laugh at my pain and discomfort.
That's what I want to do. But what do you want to do? What do you want to see?
What would you like to see?
On this new, improved, child-proof channel.
Child-proof. It's run by a child.
Friendly.
Goodness.
I guess.
It's run by a teddy bear. He's in charge. He says what goes here. Bollocks!
So look at this. I saw that video, refreshing. I immediately searched you out and have been a member ever since.
There you go. Thanks, Nisha. Appreciate that. Cha-ching!
Okay, Scott, what the fuck? This is the third time I see this fucking question. Get the fuck out. Remove them. I don't want to see it a fourth time. I'm gonna get pissy. And then Shelley's gonna come and say that she loves it.
Right.
And we answered the fucking first one.
Looks like your name tag's fallen off the screen too.
Yes, I am anonymous.
Yes.
Yes, please don't ask questions twice. That was the third time. You missed one, Rich.
Pim gets pissy.
I ignored the second time, but now it comes up again.
Maybe we should have called this Pim Gets Pissy.
Wife wants to know if boron supplementation is necessary, Field Marshal.
It is not usually, Julian.
Having said that, I'm megadosing borax right now.
Really? There you go.
Really? You know that I'm doing that. I'm doing all sorts of crazy shit to see if it impacts
I'm just keeping the vibe of the show rolling.
My doings. Yeah, what they call sinuses.
Yes, sinuses. Granddad's here.
This was what I was laughing at before.
Yes.
I'm married and it's wonderful, but I always assume there's a key logger.
Yes. Good.
Okay. I had a good debate with some of my dad's friends last night. What about chlorophyll? We need chlorophyll? Again, grass-fed ruminant animals provide that too.
For what possible reason do you think that we would need chlorophyll? Please explain.
For your green tint.
Yes.
In case I want green hair, I need chlorophyll.
Yes. No, please explain why they would have thought chlorophyll was needed in your diet.
Maybe with the magnesium.
There's magnesium in muscle meat in perfectly sufficient amounts.
Oh, I don't know.
It's complexed with ATP.
I was just saying something
to
try and justify it.
I see.
Okie dokie.
Okay.
Down Highway 2, but
sorry, up the other side. Yes, of course. My bad. Yep.
I wouldn't really know anyway. I'm just like, yeah.
So it's,
I've
you
been
go
there once.
around the bay and then up the other side of the ranges. Yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Okay.
Not.
I don't live in the North Island.
I've only been to Wellington once, and I had a migraine, so I was walking around in a fog.
Right. I think I remember.
Hi Bart, will you still do any reaction videos with less short words so YouTube won't get mad?
Yes, I probably will. In fact, I did just last week on the other channel, that one, I think it is, where I'm responding to one lame Norton.
Excellent.
And I'll also put some other even tamer versions up on this channel too at some point. I'm just waiting for my strikes to kind of wear out so I've got a little bit more leeway, to be honest. Stick around. More to come.
Stuck around.
Stuck around.
Okay. Any tips for suppressing the appetite?
Yes.
The appetite.
Yes, a fully carnivorous diet will do it for you in terms of the volume of food that you feel like you need to take in and your appetite, etc., because everything is so much more nutrient dense and satisfying. What else?
Well, do you mean appetite throughout the day or appetite while you're eating? Because there's quite a big difference.
Okay, fair question. Follow-up questions from Her Majesty Pim, Queen of Pirates.
If you're always hungry and always wants to eat, then I would just do like a prime of some kind and eat fuck tons of meat while you're eating and fat.
Yes.
And make sure that you don't eat more than,
While you're talking,
3 times per day.
Keep talking and don't bring the next thing up, and I'm going to fix your name thing falling off.
And also, if you feel like you're eating way too much, I would just make sure that I ate a lot and not too many times throughout the day. So I would kind of start cutting it down and allow myself to be hungry in between meals. So that maybe you go down to a 2 mad or something.
Or I'm not going to fix it, because it's saying no, get fucked.
Does it say that? Get fucked?
Yeah, might as well. Oh well, you have no name tag.
If it's a problem of you eating OMAD or whatever, and you just can't seem to stop, you have an insatiable hunger when you're eating, then maybe leave my chat alone.
I'm not touching your chat, I'm just putting it back so you can see where it is. Jesus Christ.
Then I would probably play around a little bit with the protein and the fat and see what works for you.
Very good.
Good. Next one.
Yes.
Are there any nuts that the meat militia would feed the soldiers in a pinch?
I tend, if I'm going to eat any kind, and they're not even really nuts, so I shouldn't say this because they're not nuts, but I have been known to eat cashews because I find that I don't break them down or digest them at all. I'll chew them up into small bits and swallow them, and that's what comes out the other end untouched.
That's such a good selection criteria, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, Jesus. Okay,
Yes.
I think this is a question. Maybe.
Okay, good.
I haven't read it properly. I've been struggling with sleeping through the night. I always wake up once or twice a night, even though I don't drink, up to 5 hours before going to bed. Yet sometimes I wake up twice to pee. Fixes.
Depends on many things as to what the cause of your polyuria may or may not be. That sounds like the sort of thing that you and I should probably consult regarding, and you will find an address at the bottom of the screen on the yellow ticker tape going past now and again. And you can...
Yeah, 5 hours before going to bed is a long time before going to bed.
Yes. But if you get in touch with me via that link there and book yourself in for consultancy, we'll get to the bottom of it, or the front bottom of it.
Very good. So, would you eat feces pills to fix your gut bacteria, and does it even work?
Not so long as my ass points to the ground, no. I wouldn't.
It's not like it's going to be feces in the pills.
No.
It's going to be clean out, properly cultivated bacteria, probably.
The thing is that a balanced, healthy, happy microbiome for one person will not be necessarily good, ideal, or even okay necessarily for another person entirely. So collecting the feces of an apparently healthy person, cleaning that up and putting their particular speciation and balance of microbiota into a pill and feeding it to another human being, or indeed even doing a fecal transplant, which has been known to be done, not necessarily the thing to do. I wouldn't do it. I would manage my microbiome by way of managing my diet and behaviour. What would you do, Fluffy?
I would try it if I had a serious problem that I couldn't fix.
Hello? I'm a serious problem you can't fix.
Will feces pills help?
Feed enough of them to me, they probably will. I'll be even more full of shit then.
Yes. Is it possible?
Careful now. Ted will get upset.
Yes.
You'll upset the kid.
My 7-year vegan mate is now starting paleo, explaining ESV was the eye-opener. He was planning to start ramming more powders down his gob. So thanks for educating me enough to enlighten him convincingly.
Okay.
Cool.
Even though I have no idea what you're referring to with the ESV.
I don't either.
I hate TLAs. They're a PITA, FTH.
Any hints? I've had 2 chest infections and now the blah 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 that we are not saying on this channel. Carnivore 2 years. Can I do something else to avoid infection? Feeling crap. Was feeling amazing until a few months ago. Love you. We love you too, Maisie.
We love you too also. That sounds like a consultancy issue. Very much. And we will not be talking about that thing on this channel at all. It's not safe.
NAZ, zinc, the normal stuff that you do when you're sick. Or email.
Yes. Email will make it better.
Yes.
Not something we can talk about. Because, you know.
I have been carnivore for 4 months now.
Yes.
I had been dealing with back acne for over a year.
Yes.
Within 3 weeks after switching to an animal-based diet, it cleared up. What do you think caused the acne?
That's a combination probably of upset microbiome, oxalate toxicity, and immune system dysfunction as a factor, or as factors, most likely. Yes.
I don't know how to answer this because I don't know how to do that. Pim, I put a question in the member milestone chat. Please read. Where is that? Sorry, Julian. Can't help you.
Type it out again. Put it in the general questions.
Yes, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Or you can email either one of us a question at any stage if you want something sticky answered.
Yes.
Stickly problems. We've had quite a few.
No spamming the chat.
Who's spamming the chat?
I don't know.
And
Unless
whoever
it's
it is, stop it.
whoever was doing 3 of the same.
Right. Yes.
No. What the hell?
Putty Woods.
I'm curious about how my biometric screening will go this year after being carnivore 8 months.
Yes, that will be interesting. Let us know.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Always good to hear people's anecdotes.
Oh, I love this. How about trying the first part of Ashtanga primary series, the standing asanas only? Great challenge, Professor Bart. See Joey Miles on YouTube. He talks you through it.
Roger that. I shall have a look.
Yeah, I want to see that. What are your thoughts on Sverige claiming carnivore is only when you drink blood and eat raw meat?
He's wrong. Completely wrong, and he's an idiot. He's an absolute waste of skin, that boy. No idea about anything whatsoever. That's just his ignorant, stupid opinion. Carnivore is actually defined operationally and scientifically by anyone with any knowledge in biology of any kind as any animal that consumes more than 70% of the so-called calories in the form of animal products.
Are you sliding now?
Whether it be blood and whatever else or not, actually. So you can have up to 30% plant material in your diet and still call yourself a carnivore. That's how Paul Saladino gets away with it.
Say something. Say it in the microphone.
Oh?
Say it. I have to teach her to bark.
She's quite happy to talk when you don't want her to.
Mm-hmm.
Untrainable.
Yes. I eat beef every day and sold my food carnivore for 8 months. If I stop my magnesium supplements, I start getting leg cramps. I really want to stop taking the supplement. Do you have any advice?
Nope, if it's not broken, don't fix it. In your case, you might be needing more magnesium for some reason due to some lag effect of your previous life. It'll come right in years to come, perhaps. The full healing process, when you finally get it together and go carnivore, can take several years. It's a several years process, not a several days process. Keep doing it.
2-month strict carnivore, was on vacation, so 8 days of carbs and some alcohol. Do I have to prime again or just go back to carnivore cold turkey? Priming is never necessary.
No, unless you're going to be doing a bunch of fasting and you're looking for a period of recomp or whatever. It's not a necessity. It might be helpful.
She was growling into the mic now. Because they're hammering stuff or whatever.
Yes. Yeah. So it might be helpful, but it's not necessary. You can go straight back to your carnivore and see how you go. If you have any problems, let me know, and I'll talk you through a repriming if you need that. You might even be able to get away with doing a mini prime if you do have a problem. You might not have to do the whole thing.
Yep.
Cool.
I mean, it might feel easier to do a little bit of a prime because you're probably going to be more hungry than usual.
Mm.
What else?
Håll käften nu, fitta.
0-calorie sweeteners such as what I found in Diet Cokes, etc. Do you think that they are insulinogenic like carbs, sugar? I know it's best to stay away, but sometimes you want a sweet Coca-Cola.
Not only do I think they are. That's why I think they are. It's been shown, proven, absolutely established.
But different people react differently to them,
Absolutely,
so you
that
don't
was the
even
bit
know.
after the comma.
Yeah, but you're quiet for too long.
You've got to take a breath, don't I? And let that bit sink in before I come with the... And here's the caveat, don't I, Fluffy? Yes. See, she's looking at me like, listen to Daddy. He knows.
I know how to get her to speak.
Meow. Where's the cat? Where's the cat? Oh, God. Pathetic.
Where's the cat? Where's it? Where's the cat?
Hey? Where's the birds?
Just like
Can you catch the birds? Join us next week and we'll actually talk to you instead of to the dog. Good.
Yeah. We have another question.
Good.
How to deal with oxalate dumping when going carnivore?
Yes, depends on how quickly you want it done. This is a band-aid on being ripped off quickly or slowly issue. If you want to get through it more quickly, but possibly with a rougher experience of it, what you do is take 1/4 teaspoon of pure food-grade citric acid in an 8-ounce glass of water once or twice a day.
You can go to my channel as well. I have 2 interviews with Sally K. Norton where she discusses that.
Fine channel it is too.
Bloody good information. I love Sally.
Pim's Fine channel is linked on linked channels on the front page of my channel.
Good.
Also, it's easy to find. You just search for Pim Johnson, Jannsson, and it's Pim, not Pam, and it's not Johnson. And God, Pimjannsson. Okay.
Pum.
So, yes.
Pum.
Kiwis would pronounce that Pum. Oh, Pum. Right.
Oh
so check it
shit,
out.
we're missing a super chat here.
Super chat, $19.99.
They don't show up very well.
No.
Thank you, Bart and Pim, for all your hard work and dedication. You are much loved and greatly appreciated. Well, thank you, David.
Thank you, David.
We love you too.
Your funds are very much appreciated too. They keep the lights on, and they keep little puppy dogs in meat and bones. And Pim and hair dye, and me in costumes and bits of technical toys that I can't fucking use.
And then he can buy a new camera.
Yeah, and then that won't work either. And
I lost where we were.
the plot. Yes.
No, I have
There's
the
0
plot.
carb sweetness things there, bean
Yeah.
paste there. Blah blah blah.
I can't even see it, even though it's selected. There it
There it
is.
is.
The hell? How did I?
Pass.
No, but that's not what I want to see. That's the super chat. I'm
Yes.
trying to get back to where I was.
Right. Okay. Well, it's about there. I'll just
Okay.
below there because that was the.
So we're
one of
almost
those
up to time.
Incredible.
There is that one. I'm just going to select that one again so I know
Okay.
where I am. Right. What was that? Something. You can drink a cup of tea to get some oxalate and help curb dumping.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's something that Sally told me because I was like, oh, I can't have any sweet potatoes then. Because I started eating carbs because that made me feel better than being a full-time carnivore. And she said if you eat less than half a cup for a few days, that will kind of slow down the dumping and you'll have it under control. But there are other things you can do, like magnesium or calcium or potassium citrates, and she talked about some sort of foot bath that I said I was going to do, but it was something that I didn't have, so I haven't done it.
Why are you looking at me in that tone of voice, puppy?
Because she likes to do that.
Good. Cup of tea.
Any recommendations for better sleep? Takes me so long to fall asleep at night.
Yes. Number 1, electrical grounding and electrical earthing when you are trying to sleep is very handy in that respect if you have an issue. Sometimes. Doesn't always work, but nothing always works. That's important. Avoid blue and artificial wavelengths in your eyes after the sun drops below the horizon. Or the easiest way to do that, I find, is
sexy glasses.
By putting on the blockers. It's daytime though, so I won't be wearing them now. Carnivore diet helps because it lowers inflammation, etc., anxiety, etc. And the sponsors Fine Cereal products probably help too.
I heard Linda say just don't take them right before bed because they actually wake her up a bit. I have never found that to be a problem.
Yes. But you will find a link to Cereal's Fine Stem Cell Enhancing product line at the link which is going across on the yellow ticker tape at the bottom of the screen.
I've had sleep problems for many years, but I don't have that very often anymore, which is very nice.
Except when I do, and then I keep you awake.
Yeah, yes. I don't have problems falling asleep if it's quiet and dark.
But pin drops somewhere in the house and she's bolt upright. Unlike myself, who slept through a large tree falling over right outside the bedroom recently in a storm and missing the house only by virtue of falling away from it rather than towards it, because if it had fallen the other way, it would have crashed straight through the roof of the bedroom.
Yeah, that would have been untidy.
I would have woken up for that probably.
Maybe.
Or maybe I'd just be squished and that would be the end of it. And there'd be then today wouldn't have been happening.
I'm thinking about sleep. I mean, you can try things like 5-HTP or GABA or microdosing, melatonin, that sort of stuff. But one of the best things is probably to start winding down a couple of hours before bed and just like dim the lights. Read if you want to, but read like physical books and not digital ones. Mm-hmm. And if you need to do that, put on a blue light filter so you get rid of that.
Yeah. Oh, and no caffeine.
Yeah, that could be a thing. So some people have they don't break down caffeine very quickly. So what you can do is just, like, if you're going to drink any caffeinated beverages, do that first thing in the morning and then stop. Usually it's safe to do it up until maybe lunchtime, 2 p.m. or something for most people. But
yes.
If you're a slow metabolizer, then that might be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Is she getting wiggly? Oh, she's sliding again.
Ooh. Slidey dog.
Okay, let's see.
We've had a run on questions. Yeah. It's been great.
Can you start a carnivore diet at 60 years of age with a pre-existing cardiovascular disease?
Yes, absolutely. The only caveat I would suggest is that you should probably get some professional advice on how to do it right, because otherwise we'll have to point and laugh and say you never really were a carnivore and you did it wrong. That's why it didn't work for you or something like that. That's what you do, isn't it? You can get professional advice from me at the bottom of the screen. And I do pensioners' rates if you're of a sort of pensionable age. 60 is a bit young for pensionable. Is that the word?
You can wait a few years,
yes.
I suppose.
Or you could... Anyway, yes, you can get hold of me down there at that link. And I'll help you with the transition. And because the one thing you should absolutely not do, I'll give you this for free, don't change your diet to carnivore overnight. Bam. Big mistake. Don't do that. For more information, see me professionally. After class. Dusters.
You get a free spanking with that.
Oh, yes.
Next.
Oh,
I'm still lurking with a 2-day migraine.
Oh, that's PP, that sucks.
I feel sorry for you. Hello, is it possible that acne could be a sign of oxalate dumping?
Yes. It is.
For sure.
Yep. Yep.
Greetings, I recently got the circumcision. Would stem cells assist in recovery? Yes.
More likely than not, yes. Yeah. Goodness me, that seems extreme at an adult age. Oh, God.
You advise against low-intensity endurance exercises, but I'm wondering what you think about evolutionary aspects of this, since humans develop sweat glands to chase prey into exhaustion.
That's not why humans developed sweat glands at all. Humans developed sweat glands as a cooling methodology when they produce a great deal of metabolic heat, which you're going to produce under the midday African sun when you are exercising at high intensity, in fact. So there we go. Also look at the biomechanical design of our joint structures and muscle insertions and origins. Have a look at our metabolic systems, have a look at our muscle systems, the way we work. It's all geared towards high intensity burst and repeat activity, not steady state endurance. So the two gears that humans are evolved and geared around is exercising at an intensity so far below maximum that it's not a particular physiological stress to do it for hours and hours and hours, like walking, or sprint, stop, blah-de-blah-de-blah. Not jogging steadily, rhythmic muscle contractions for hours and hours on end. We are not designed for that. That's why I advise against it. And the exact physiological reasons why it is a contraindicated bad idea I have covered in the past on my channel, and you'll find that elsewhere that still exists on other platforms where my older videos are still up and available for viewing. I don't know where you might find such a platform. Maybe if you take an odyssey of discovery around the internets, you might find it.
Or you can just say, go to fucking Odyssey.
But I could say that, but you're not allowed to do that. That's why I didn't fucking do it.
Are you not?
Nope. It's in the fine print.
But don't go to Odyssey then. Or...
Because... Right, what's next?
Just left click the mouse. Hi, can you talk more about the stem cell product?
Yes I can. The flagship product of the Cerule Stem Enhancing Nutraceutical product line is called Stem Enhance Ultra. The active ingredient is an extract derived from a blue-green cyanobacteria that lives in this one lake in this particular form. That lake happens to be in Oregon, and it happens to be Upper Klamath Lake, for interest's sake. The algae colonies are harvested on a regular basis. The product is filtered and cleaned with a proprietary process that gets rid of all the toxins and heavy metals and crap that you'll normally find in such bacterial colonies. And then there is a specific, again, proprietary process by which the active ingredient is concentrated and activated so that it works in the human body. The end result is a blue-green powder that they put into those little capsules that they then put in bottles and send to you. And you go, yum, 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 and eat them up, yum. And they encourage your bone marrow to release your adult stem cell blanks with your DNA in them, which enter your bloodstream under the influence of this product. And then what they do is they float around in your blood and they do magics throughout your body by means of exuding little packets, little first aid kits of information containing RNA, DNA, whole proteins, even, depending on what's needed. They send out exosomes, is what I'm telling you, which can calm down inflammation, can give instructions to cancerous cells to undergo cell apoptosis, in other words, destroy yourself, you nasty cancer cell. And then the other thing that these stem cells can do is bind to tissues of any kind in the body in need of renewal or repair, and repair those by replacing worn-out cells with brand new ones with full-length telomeres, which is incredible when you think about it. We are not allowed to make any therapeutic claim of any kind because the FDA will not allow it. Ergo, we can only say this product does exactly what it says it does, and that is it encourages the release of adult stem cells, after which your body decides how they should be used for best effect, pretty much. You can find out more information about that by emailing me at my email address, which is on the front page of my About tab section on the front page of my fine science-based channel here. Or you can go directly to the shop link, which you will find on the link out page, which is that one which is going across the bottom of the screen on the yellow ticker tape. And you can get hold of all of that information and products and stuff there. Okay. Anything I missed? Good.
Click it again to get the next one.
Don't touch my chat, she says. No, do it. Do the chat.
What are your thoughts on chelation for high coronary artery calcium score? Sent $20 via PayPal. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that. I wouldn't be going that way, personally. I would go with the 4 health hacks, which I've covered in my, I think it's in 5 minutes or less video, about 4 life health hacks that are the best, in my opinion, for assisting your body with repairing and renewing itself from all sorts of challenges. And I'll give them to you again for free in much less than 5 minutes. Here they are. Number 1, a 100% carnivorous diet consisting of the muscle meats, largely, and associated fat of ruminant animals, mostly grass-fed. Thank you. Number 2, electrical earthing and grounding for as much of the time as is possible and practical in your lifestyle. Number 3, cereal products. Number 4, no blue light or artificial wavelengths into your eyes after dark. And there's a 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever. But once you've done those first 4 and got those all happening, generally the problem is resolved within a few years. Not a fan of chelation therapy, personally. Okay.
Oh, sorry, Buff.
Oh.
I need to do this. Is there an optimal BMI for health?
Well, we're told there is, but BMI is actually a tool which was designed in the first instance as a means to broadly describe populations with a brush stroke. The BMI is not an appropriate assessment or measurement of any one individual person's height to weight ratio, and it tells us nothing whatever about their body composition. So we're told that the ideal BMI range is 20 to 25. However, someone who is highly muscled will have a much higher BMI than that, in which case they will be deemed to be unhealthy and obese if somebody doesn't know how that weight is made up. Example, I used to work with a bloke who was a representative rugby union player for the province of Manawatu in New Zealand, and he was about 6'5" and a good 18 stone at least, and his BMI came out at 35 and or something ridiculous like that, which would be deemed to be morbidly obese, and he applied for life insurance and they knocked him back and said, nope, you're a health risk. A fit semi-professional athlete with high muscularity. So it's nonsense to use the BMI in that way. It's completely inappropriate and unscientific. And so what happened is he told us about it, and it was at a university that we were both working at, and we went to some of the other professorial staff, and we got together and we made an appearance on a New Zealand television program called Fair Go, where we outlined this problem and embarrassed the company concerned, and they caved in and changed their policy, and rightly so. So there.
So there.
Yes. Anyway, that's just a story from back in the trenches, really.
Good. So we have failed. We forgot the most important thing.
Did we?
The standard answer, taurine for sleep.
Oh, of course, taurine. Taurine, 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 taurine.
I didn't find that it did anything for my sleep.
No singing.
In terms of wanting to increase my deep sleep.
Oh, also, you know what else might help you with sleep? Is having a good breakfast. I wonder what you should have for breakfast.
Next.
uh,
But being
yes.
carnivore for over 4 years now, and I have experimented with protein amounts varying up to 5 pounds of meat a day.
Oh, Jesus, you must be large. Yes?
I found that too much protein is detrimental. Thoughts?
I agree, and 5 pounds of meat is probably too much protein in a day. In fact, almost certainly, unless you are 9 feet tall and several 100 pounds more than I weigh. Yeah, definitely there is a limit to how much protein is useful.
Yeah, so if you need that much food, then maybe increasing your fat intake is a good thing.
Yes, sorry. I always suggest somewhere around about 1.75 grams per kilogram of lean body mass per day of protein. That's about the benchmark, plus or minus.
Oh, there's a follow-up to the same one, I think.
Follow up.
Shut up.
Oh, no singing.
Blood sugars was elevated for hours. There seems to be an upper limit that is individual, and maintaining an amount that allows for fat burning to continue is preferred.
Yes.
Fat needs to be the primary fuel.
Correct.
Okay,
yes,
so
and you're talking about the gluconeogenic effect of too much protein there. Yep.
Yeah, but I think meat increases blood sugar for a very long period of time.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't go too freaking high.
No, unless you're eating, like, he's talking about eating pounds and pounds of meat.
Yeah, but 5 pounds in a day, if he's very large and he's eating 3 meals per day, it might not be...
Then you've got 3 peaks of sugar instead of just 1.
But they're not going to be peaks. So I would kind of start looking at, how much does it actually go up and how long does it stay elevated for?
Yeah.
Is it a problem at the level that it is? Because it's not necessarily going to be a huge problem.
Also, folks, you will find on Carnivore that almost counterintuitively, your resting blood glucose does tend to hover more like around about 100 than lower than that. And your A1Cs do tend to follow in a slightly upwards, more like 5 direction.
So not large at all, only about 78 kilos. Okay. Yeah,
right, well, that's way too much meat then.
Probably way too much meat.
Way too much.
Yeah. So keep doing the fat thing.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna help.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know how you eat that much.
God, I was going to say, how the hell do you do that? Maybe you've been watching that Uric the Electric video.
Yeah, maybe.
Jesus. If you don't know what I'm talking about, do a search on the YouTubes on Uric the Electric. That guy is nuts. He's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely stark raving bonkers.
Roger. MRI proves caffeine cuts blood supply to the brain by 47%. Search YouTube for ABC MRI caffeine.
Radio. There'll be an error around, that'll be an average measurement of a number of subjects, and there'll be an error around it, and it'll be massive, I would say. However, sure. Yeah. Hey, dude. Oh, Richard's saying, hey, dude, to somebody. Yeah. Okay, got it.
There's just another comment that I'm not going to scroll through
Yes.
But he says, was curious to see how it affected me and to see if the protein amount was a myth, lol. So maybe that was an experiment.
Yep.
Okay, now you two.
Now you're too wiggly. Yeah. Antsy in the pantsy. And don't piss around down there.
Good luck with that.
No singing!
Carnivore for 5 years. Do you have any thoughts on systemic lupus erythematosus and hemolytic anemia?
Do you have either of those things or both of those things? In which case, definitely that would be something that you should consult with me about.
Yeah.
Very individual situations with autoimmune type dysfunctions of that kind. And both of those things are autoimmune in their etiology. Yeah.
Cute doggy.
Oh yes, världens sötaste hunde. And she knows
and also, love the hair colour. Well, thank you.
Very good.
And great to see you back. Hope your channel grows well.
Me too. It's not at the moment. It has not recovered from the fuckery that was imposed upon it
And you need to work on your grammar.
My grammar? My
His
grammar?
grammar. Where to use apostrophes and not.
Yes, you're actually your, not you. You, re is you are. It's a yeah. I hope you are channel grows well.
It could be autocorrect.
I didn't even notice that, and I usually would notice that because that's one of my bugbears too. But we love you anyway. But yes, you're referring to.
Yeah, okay, we get it.
Good.
I shall not say anything next time.
Also, I hate the greengrocers apostrophe, like avocado apostrophe s, orange apostrophe s. What? No.
I don't see that as often. I even have professional emails doing the yours, you are thing wrong.
Yes.
Training for combat sports. Do you recommend strength training and or HIIT like most coaches do?
I do, yes. The consultancy, the address for consultancy is at the bottom of the screen now on that bit.ly link that's going across on the yellow ticker tape. Click there. There's a link out from that page to Patreon where you join up as a monthly subscription. There are 3 different tiers of consultancy. The product is the same at all 3 tiers. The price goes up as the tiers fill up and my calendar gets closer to full, basically. I think at the moment only the top tier has slots in it. So, check it out.
So if people want to do a consult, etc., they go to the bit.ly.
Yes. Basically, that's a all things Bart link. It's got consultancy is there. If you want to buy T-shirts from the merchandise shop with yellow Ted on them or something like that, you could, or that other blue one with the white thing on it that said something about going somewhere.
Fuck off.
That one, yes. Or there's a tuna pig T-shirt and all sorts of fine T-shirts and things on the merchandise store. That's linked on that page. So all products are linked on that page as well.
Your email address, is it there?
No, it's not, but my email address is on the About tab on the front page of my fine YouTube channel here.
Yes, because White Noise says, yes, I will consult with you on SLE and H anemia. Email address again, please?
Yes, that's what it is. Also, if you just want me to give it to you, it's bart.kay.n for Nelly, Z for zebra at the G place. That's my email.
At the G place.
But I will just respond to your email. I'll send you back to the link for Patreon where you go and join up and subscribe and pay your money, and then you get access to my calendar link from there. So you might as well just go there, cut out the middleman, and talk to me when the time comes.
Very good.
Yes, lovely.
Have you ever heard of C60? Seems like it's growth popular recently.
Nope, I haven't. Unless that's one of those carbon-based buckyball type things or carbon-based molecules that's supposed to be miraculous in some way.
I think it's carbon 60, yes.
Yeah, okay. In which case I probably have heard of similar things. Not convinced at this stage.
Yes.
Will you stop pissing around down there?
She doesn't know how to.
Goodness me.
Any tips on managing foamy urine, in particular oxalate dumping?
Yes.
We already dealt with oxalate dumping.
We did, and it's 1/4 teaspoon of pure food grade citric acid in an 8-ounce glass of water once or twice per day to speed up the dumping, and drinking small amounts of tea or caffeine or something similar to that to slow it down, to manage the rate at which it happens, really. And it's a matter of, do you want to pull the band-aid off slowly or quickly? Quickly is worse symptomology-wise, slower is not so bad, but takes forever.
Even quickly can take a while.
Yes.
So I wouldn't recommend that for anyone. I think it's suffering for nothing.
Yes. Good.
Lemon juice, if you do lemons.
There's not enough citric acid in lemon juice to really be effective, though. That's why I say 1/4 teaspoon of pure.
I do lemon juice with citric acid.
Yes, she does.
Blah. But now I run out of lemons, so now it's just citric acid, which is blah.
Yes.
It's horrible.
Yes.
Oh, Jesus.
Somebody that can do art should do an anime version of Pim with the pink and purple hair. That'd be cool.
Not pink, it's purple and blue.
It looks pink in this particular camera doings.
Do you know?
Yeah.
Anyhow.
Right. Good.
Fake camera.
Thank you for the info on the blue-green algae.
Yes. I flew to the Ukraine to get injections of stem cells in 2019.
God.
Cost $20,000. it made autoimmune inflammation worse.
Yep.
I hope your stem cells work for me.
Okay, the product that we're talking about, the Cereal product, does not contain stem cells. What it does is it encourages your body to release your adult stem cells from your bone marrow, and it does that in a way as to not aggravate your immune system. So, yeah.
Thank you very much, Bart. I'm 5 months strict carnivore, ground each day, walk each day, resistance train 6 days a week, down from 165 kilo to 124.
Good work.
Almost there, we'll get the products.
Good work. Awesome. So proud of you. That's some top going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of the highest order.
So that's what we like to see. Someone who's focused on what the fuck they're doing. And then they get the results. So think about one thing at a time. Do one thing at a time. Don't do 50 billion things at a time, because it never works.
Men kaffe slut.
Yes, good.
Inte bra. Alls.
Bra som fan. What are your views on the on whey protein? Is it okay to take? I read somewhere that it is pro-inflammatory.
That's individual as to whether it's pro-inflammatory or not, because all things autoimmunity tend to have quite a range of individual response. My immediate response to whey protein is it's completely unnecessary. All the protein you require you will find in the muscle meat of large ruminant animals, grass-fed. Thank you.
Okay, we're back to the insomnia thing.
Yep.
Deep base note in skull for 6 years.
Okay.
Insomnia beyond extreme.
Yeah.
Strict carnivore for months, plus cereal, still heading towards dementia.
How do you know you're heading towards dementia? I think you should consult with me. We could maybe find you some solutions there. I know a bloke that deals with that kind of thing, actually. Like tinnitus and head noises and stuff.
What about listening to an audiobook?
Yeah, that too.
So you have a different sound.
Yep.
Or try some of those binaural beats or whatever they're called,
Yep.
so that you have a different noise.
Cool. But get hold of me, Joseph, and I'll put you onto the bloke that I know that deals with tinnitus and head noises and all that kind of stuff, and see if that helps as well.
Is there a level of ferritin that we should worry about eating carnivore?
Nope, ferritin is non-toxic. There is no toxic level of ferritin. That's just ridiculous nonsense. I've never heard anything so silly, except saturated fat causes heart disease, or cholesterol causes heart disease, or you need fibre, or vitamin C, though. In fact, I've heard lots of silly things. That's a silly thing, I guess.
Or you can go to my channel and watch the ferritin video with PD Mangan.
Yeah, he disagrees with me, but I disagree with him. There is no level of toxicity of ferritin. Ferritin is non-toxic. It's a storage form of iron designed specifically to be non-toxic. It's evolved over at least 4.5 million years.
I don't think he said it's toxic.
He said there's a level of iron that's toxic. And he's right, there is a level of iron that's toxic, but not ferritin specifically.
I thought he was saying that it's a sign that something is not right, so it's not a good thing.
Okay. Maybe I need to watch that again. It's been a long time.
Maybe I need to watch it again as well.
Right. Everybody go and watch Pim's interview with Petey Mangan.
I think it's now my second most popular video, because Sally has taken over.
Who has?
Sally K. Norton.
Sally K. Norton
my
with
newest
Oxalates doings.
Yeah.
Yep, good.
So what do I feed the canine family members? They have always been carnivores. From 10 weeks when I got them, both of them.
From weaned, basically.
Well, they weren't weaned on carnivorous foods, especially not Amy, because she was on dry food, and Princess Puffy, that you have all seen today, she was weaned off on cooked meat and rice.
God, really?
Yes. And then I fed them meat and bones and organs. A prey model, a raw prey model, which is 10% bone, 10% organs, and 80% muscle meat. Roughly. I'm kind of whatevs.
Yeah.
I was a bit more anal about that shit when I first got them. Now I just like, whatever.
The dogs also have cereal products daily.
They do now. Yes.
They're very lucky dogs.
They never used to do that,
No.
but since one of them got some back problems a year ago, and they have been.
And then she had some girly problems recently.
Girly problems.
Yes.
She had an operation.
A little operation.
Poor dog.
No.
Oh.
Poor Snoozy. She seems to have recovered well then, which is good.
Yeah.
Right, what's next?
There's a lot of talk about nightshades and lectins and blah, blah, blah.
Yep. All good stuff to read through in your own time, boys and girls. Stop throwing paper darts down the back. Get rid of that gum. Pay attention. Questions to the front of the class.
So, Tracy eats a 99.9% carnivore diet. I drink decaf coffee and tea, and recently 30 grams of blueberries in my yogurt. What kind of blueberries?
Bullies eat blueberries, Tracy. And also, if you're going to drink decaf, what's the bloody point? It doesn't even taste nice. Just an opinion. Good.
This is for me. How do you get unaddicted sugar without symptoms of withdrawals? You don't. There's no way, if you're addicted to sugar, you're going to have withdrawal symptoms. Sorry.
Yeah. Good.
What are your thoughts on hydrogen H2 tablets for water as an anti-inflammatory?
I've never heard of that being used as an anti-inflammatory. I wouldn't know. I'd have to go and look up about what the mechanism is, what they're proposing. Whether it doesn't immediately sound like something that makes any sense to me physiologically. But I would have to go and check.
We're coming towards the end here, so if you still have questions, get them in now, or you might have to wait another week or whatever.
This is the end. This is no singing.
No fucking singing.
No singing.
Shut up. Been carnivore for over a year and still dealing with heartburn.
Yes.
Figured it would be gone by now, but no. In the past, have tried oxabile and enzymes and HCl and still no relief.
Guess what I'm going to say? That sounds very much like a consultancy issue. You need to consult with me. We need to get to the bottom of that and help you sort it out.
And you might want to have a look at what sort of carnivore you're doing. So without knowing exactly what you're eating, it's going to be hard to tell. But you might have to do the lion diet for a bit.
You might be doing it wrong. Perhaps you never really were a carnivore.
No, but maybe what you're doing is not enough to actually heal that for now.
Yes.
So if you just do like beef and salt for a few weeks, maybe, see if it gets better. Things like dairy, if you use any sweeteners at all, cooked fats, sometimes maybe even raw fats, but I think that's less likely. But if you're overdoing it, coffee, if you're doing coffee still, cut it out. It's going to be a big thing. So are you doing anything else than muscle meat and salt? Then that might be your answer for now. Okay, so did our ancestors drink milk?
Yes.
If not, how they got their calcium?
Yes, they did. To some degree, depending on who your particular ancestors were and where they lived, etc., as to what the importance of dairy was in their diet, but yes.
And how far back in time you go?
And how far back, yeah. It's a relatively recent thing on a large scale to consume a lot of dairy on a weekly basis. For most westernised folks and most Asians, a lot of Africans have done it for a lot longer and have completely different genomes in terms of the lactose intolerance thing than what we do, for example.
Thanks for your generosity with your time today, Pim and Bart. You're welcome.
Yes, that's my pleasure. And hers, because I said so.
Hang on, is this the right Shelley? This is another Shelley.
No, it's a different Shelley.
Imposter.
Imposter Shelley.
We'll read it anyway.
Yes.
A1C after 10 months carnivore from 5.4 to 5.9. Blood glucose reading spiking as high as 130 during the night. 104 to 110 in the morning. Would a caloric surplus cause this? Fasting insulin 5.6 and C-peptide 1.8.
Okay, there's your answer. It's inflammation is the driver there. If there's something that's inflaming you, there's something that's not quite right in your diet. Combined with, it looks like possibly too much protein and not enough fat, potentially, at a guess.
What's your cortisol doing?
Exactly, cortisol would be good to know. This is a consultancy issue as well, by the way. You should consult with me, Shelley. We'll get to the bottom of it and help you out with it. There are various things we can do to intervene if that's necessary. I'd also need to know whether you're a type 2 diabetic or not.
Well, with that sort of blood sugar, it looks like
then
it.
you are. Basically, you would be diagnosed as a type 2 diabetic with that kind of blood sugar, even if you haven't been diagnosed already. And we can fix that for you, because you're probably doing it wrong and you never really were a carnivore. And we can help you with that at the address going across the ticker tape in yellow at the bottom of the screen.
Okie dokie. Pim is making the punk rockers in the audience jealous with that hair.
Yes, and I'm going to make sure that in the next little bit we get that drum set going again, and we'll get out some guitars and the drum set, and we'll do some musical interventions.
Electric drums or whatever they're called.
Yes.
My ears are too sensitive. I'm like, it hurts. I can't do it.
Put earplugs in.
Oh, what's the fun of that?
Well, it protects your hearing. That's the fucking point.
Do you recommend OMAD is the lion's diet?
I recommend OMAD, yes.
Is that a question like, what is the lion diet? The lion diet is just beef and salt.
Yep.
That's the lion, and beef fat.
Yep. Look up Michaela Peterson, who is the promoter/leader of the lion diet cult. It's another form of carnivorous diet. It's just a particularly extreme elimination of everything except beef and salt.
Yeah.
For reasons of autoimmunity dysfunction in her and in her, I was going to say much more famous father, but I think they're actually pretty much on a par fame-wise now, aren't they, her and her father?
And different audiences as well, I
Sure,
would say.
absolutely. Her father being Jordan Peterson, of course.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Try that.
And what I was going to say was I mentioned it with the acid reflux.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't recommend OMAD if you have having acid reflux problems. I would recommend you to eat smaller meals if you have a problem actually digesting the food, because that's not going to work very well then. But in general, if you're feeling great and do well, I would recommend an OMAD or maybe a 2MAD.
Yes. Good.
I'm doing pretty well with 2MADs, to be fair. Most of the time. Sometimes I do OMAD, but usually not when I do egg coffee.
Excellent.
So, who's Pim?
Her Majesty Pim, Queen of Pirates.
Surely Bruce knows this. Bruce has been here forever. Unless we've got more imposters on the channel.
Imposters. That's who Pim is. She sat next to me.
Good. I've been carnivore for the last 6 months. My hands started feeling tight at the joints and hips. Doctors don't know what is causing it. Do you think I'm lacking some type of mineral?
There could be all sorts of things that could cause that kind of situation to occur. I would need to sit down with you for an hour and get your history and find out what's going on before I can make any kind of guess on that at all. That's a consultancy issue, I would say. However, I might suggest that you have some muscle stiffness or some myofascial stiffness perhaps, which would be the first place I'd go to check. It could be something as simple as a lack of electrolytes in your diet. It might be more complex than that. I'd go there first. I'd say, okay, up your salt and see if that helps. And then if that doesn't work, then perhaps contact me for a consult and we'll find another way around it. Got anything?
It sounds to me like it could very well be just inflammation. For whatever reason.
Also, it's raw products at the link at the bottom of the screen.
Because if it's the hips, the joints that are stiff, I get stiff joints when I have inflammation going on, so I don't know.
So raw products are not designed to diagnose, treat, prevent.
Do they not diagnose?
Condition. No.
What the fuck are we
I'll start again.
Yep.
So raw products are not designed to diagnose, treat, or prevent any specific complaint or condition. What they do is exactly what they say they do, and that is to cause the release of adult stem cells, which your body decides what to do with. Message ends. Now take the piss.
I'm done with taking the piss.
Good. Are you?
But
She's never done with taking the piss.
PSMF?
Yes.
What the fuck's that?
Protein sparing modified fasting.
Right, we're getting to that soon.
Please spell things out, people. Sometimes we know what you're talking about with your TLAs and 4LAs and stuff. Please spell it out.
Yeah, but you knew that one.
I did know that one, but...
All hail Pym, the blue-haired pirate queen.
Yes, her.
It's kind of actually, for reals, it's more purple. This, I suppose, is...
It is more purple in this actual natural light.
Let's see, we do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Also,
that's very,
you've got the silver,
the
silver flanks
silver
underneath.
Flags, like that. Yes. There. You're messing up my hair.
Your hairstyle, yes.
Now I can't see. I'll do like the dogs.
If I had hair, I'd dye it too.
Okay, I want to answer this one.
Go on.
What's the best daily source of calcium for carnivore? I have osteopenia. I want to ask you a question. Do you know that you are calcium deficient? Because there are more minerals in your skeletal things.
Top shelf. In your bones.
In your bones, that's what it's called.
Dry bones, them bones.
Then calcium. So if you are eating too much calcium and you don't have the other minerals, what's going to happen is that you're going to put that calcium in your tissue where you really do not want it. So by asking this question, you're basically saying that you don't have enough calcium, and I don't think that that is the issue. It's unlikely that that is the issue, unless you know that it's actually the issue. If you have had it tested, you know for sure. So, I mean, if you really wanted to supplement with all those kind of minerals, I would start making bone broth from some soft sort of bones, like chicken bones or something, and maybe even eating those bones. Maybe you're one of those humans that he now knows that eat bones. But you can actually, if you do chicken in a slow cooker for 12 to 24 hours, or even a pressure cooker, then it's going to be even worse for the poor bones. You just crush them up in the liquid and drink it.
Yep.
You have a very bony bone broth.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 So answer the question without answering the question.
Good.
Because I don't think that's what you want to know.
Yes. I'll help him. She knows best.
Of course.
Unless she disagrees with me, in which case it's hate speech.
What are your thoughts of taking beef hide collagen?
Fine. Collagen's great.
Question for Tracy. Do people bully you because you don't eat veggies? She's eating blueberries now. She's the bully.
Eat blueberries. She's a bully.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, protein sparing, modified fast, or fasting better for body fat loss, lean mass retention. Cheers. Hail Pym. Yeah. Hail you too,
Good.
Johnny.
Fasting to up to 72 hours at a time.
I think both of them can work well.
Yep. But fasting works more effectively than PSMF, I think.
For lean mass retention?
Yeah, well, you don't lose lean mass when you're fasting unless you have no fat left on your body.
Yeah, but if you want to do something more often, I think the protein sparing modified fast would probably be better if you want to do it a lot.
For extended periods, yeah. You might do it in between your periods of fasting.
Yeah.
Or you might just eat a sensible diet of the right sort of mix of protein and fat and salt and water, a bit of butter if you like.
Very good.
Caffeine and alcohol.
Cut that out.
Yes.
Would oxalate dumping cause joint issues?
Yes, it
could.
Absolutely.
Now what? Do we have to pull?
You make a wish and you don't speak until you've made a wish. So now you broke it.
But I didn't know. Do I not get a second chance on making my wish?
Oh well.
Are coconuts equally bad as most plant foods? I mean, both coconut water and its flesh. Are they European or African coconuts?
Generally, I find personally not. Others might react more strongly to coconuts than I do. I don't find them a problem. I don't find coconut fat a problem when I use a bit of that from time to time.
I don't think there's anything wrong with coconut water necessarily.
Yeah.
Or do you know differently?
I don't think so. The flesh, maybe.
You get fibre in the flesh.
Yeah, you don't want any fibre. Goodness no.
Tracy thought that was funny too. No one bullies the carnivores, which I'm my own boss.
Yes.
See?
Good. Oh.
Do not drink coconut water. Why not, Harry? Tell us.
Tell us why
We
not.
want to know.
Share with the class.
People bully me because I don't eat much vegetables either.
In case he's not, apologies that he's not, but if he is, as usual, you will find that Harry will be online in 35 minutes on Harry's Fine channel. Harry Sopanos.
I haven't seen him, so...
No, he hasn't shown his face, so maybe he's not.
We have the other Harry here, Harry Heck.
Yes.
Hey Bart, did you know that your body doesn't absorb nuts? I think he told us that he'd know.
I did know that, yes, I noticed. Yeah.
Was there a question or like, hey Bart, how did you know that your body doesn't absorb nuts?
Well, if
Might have been.
it was how I explained that too earlier, which was it comes out exactly as it went in, just chewed up.
Oh, sorry, here's the second part. Did you know that your body doesn't absorb nuts? It goes through your system.
Yes, I did know that. Yeah, thank you. I noticed.
Yes, absolutely, Tracy. K2 will move calcium into bones, hair, skin, and nails. But still, if you don't have like magnesium and don't have phosphor, which you probably do because there's a lot of phosphor, if you don't have other minerals, like boron is probably one of them. Speaking of which, when I was reading up about how to take borax, etc., it seems to be the magic thing that helps people who have arthritis, and it requires you to supplement more with magnesium because it will help build the bones and make stronger bones, apparently. So maybe that's something you want to look into. I'm still no expert. I don't know enough about it, but it's worth reading about. Yes. Yes, Tracy, I'm having at least 5 of those per day. I like eggs.
Do you have them with steak?
Nope, usually not.
No singing.
Okay, I'm not going to answer the question how to remove oxalates from your body by anyone anymore, because we had that question up like 6 times from 3 people. So go and watch my videos with Sally K. Norton on my channel. Or start watching this from the beginning and you'll have the answer.
She's getting pissy again.
Because it's the same fucking question. Unless it's the same person writing for several different accounts. Coconut water concentrates hydrogen. Okay.
You'll need to explain the mechanism there. What do you mean concentrates hydrogen? Harry, what do you mean by that?
Would hydrogen be bad?
The hydrogen is a gas.
Yes.
So it concentrates hydrogen where? And how does it do that?
Maybe it's H4O.
You what? H4O?
I have no idea. I just made it up.
You what?
Harry says, Richard says, I think Harry's on next weekend.
Okay, he's not on this weekend. Right, yeah. I don't know. Maybe he is, maybe he's not.
You said not to have any fibre in your system. Can you please elaborate why?
I said it is unnecessary and that it seems, through what evidence is available, which is not much, that if anything it is contraindicated. And the reason for that is because fibre seems to be associated with so-called idiopathic bowel dysfunctions of all sorts. It seems to compromise bowel function. It seems to slow down transit time to an unacceptable level. It tends to be pro-inflammatory. It tends to lead to mechanical damage to the enteric lining and loose gap junctions. It tends to be associated with leaky gut syndrome, chronic systemic inflammation, and ergo all the sequelae involved in that, which includes heart disease, most forms of dementia, and many forms of cancer. Basically, we are not designed to have any amount of fibre in our enteric systems. Okay, Harry Heck is talking about deuterium, not hydrogen.
Yes.
Yeah, got it. Yes, okay, fine.
So that was what I was going to put up now.
Good.
Coconut water concentrates deuterium, I heard from Sally Norton.
Yes.
And
Deuterium is bad. Okay.
Harry's doing fortnightly, so not this week, but unless he changes his mind.
Okay, he's changed to a fortnightly program. Rightio. Good. I thought he would have to slow down sooner or later because he was doing hours and hours and hours of live streaming every week. Good. Good.
Hey Bart, what's the best way to eat eggs, and are 10 eggs a day too many?
Orally, I find is the best way to eat them. I tend myself to, if I'm going to have any eggs at all, I have them cooked because I don't seem to be able to have them uncooked. I seem to react if they're uncooked. And 10 might be too many, depends on what else you're eating. And how big you are and how much effective energy you're spending and what your activity levels are and how your physiology individually responds and all of those kind of things.
I usually eat about 5 per day. And sometimes more. And usually those 5 are in my egg coffee. I've just increased it to 5.
And do you have them at breakfast with something else like steak?
Sometimes I have them with an omelette. That's when I have more than 5. So I don't think... I mean, some people say that don't do eggs every day because you might start getting, sensitive to eggs or whatever. Might be true, but I think it also depends on what the rest of your diet looks like. If you're eating a lot of crap and eggs, then you might be more likely to actually develop those food sensitivities.
No singing.
No fucking singing. Okay.
Right.
When do you think you will start making videos on building lean mass?
Soon. Soon, Jedi. Young Jedi. Very soon. Yes.
Okay. If I stupidly binge on alcohol and carbs one day, would fasting help to go back on carnivore?
Possibly.
I find that if I do that, it's going to be really freaking hard to fast because after you're eating a lot of carbs, you're going to be bloody hungry. So my recommendation, if you want to do it as pain-free as possible, is probably to just have a day of eating a lot of meat. Lots and lots of it. So you're not hungry, but you're kind of getting the right fuel in.
Right.
For new carnivore, should we drink electrolyte supplements to prevent light headaches?
Yes.
Lightheadedness, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
You should.
They can absolutely help.
Yes, especially in the early phases, at the beginning. Yes.
Hello.
Oh, information of the highest order today.
That's not what we wanted to highlight. Where the fuck did he go? There. Because now we're at the bottom, so it moves. 5 eggs a day to lower the risk of serious health problems.
There is nothing that has been shown to establish risk in any way, shape or form as regards any outcome of a heart health kind in human beings over any period of time as that relates to any aspect of human nutrition whatsoever. I'm quite big on that. Risk is not an appropriate word to be using. But yes, eggs are good.
Right, I think we are almost finished. This is the last one, I suppose.
Good.
Does some kinds of meat increase uric acid?
All kinds of meat will increase uric acid to some degree, and that's a good thing, so long as you're not also eating carbohydrates and being chronically systemically inflamed. Uric acid is a water-based antioxidant that functions in that regard not only as well, but in fact better than vitamin C does. Actually, it's good stuff, so long as you're not also inflamed and full of carbohydrates.
What's better than vitamin C?
Uric acid. As
drink your piss.
Don't drink your piss. No. Behave. Okay, so thank you for your attendance today at the live stream, the questions and answers service provided to you by yours truly, this bad bald man, the field marshal of the Meat Militia. Also brought to you by our producer, who has been steadily twiddling my knobs throughout the program on the mixing desk. Here's Yellow Ted. Hello, boys and girls. Bollocks and stuff. Also, Her Majesty Pym, Queen of Pirates, the Contrarian, the Unpoked, Mother of Puppies, and all of that. Much appreciated for her time today, which we know is valuable. And yes, do get across to the link there at the bottom of the screen, down there at the bottom on the yellow ticker tape, and click on that and buy yourself some fine sponsors product from Cerule there. Also, get yourself some t-shirts from the merchandise store, and also get yourself booked in to consult with me on all aspects of things that you might want my opinion on in private, one-on-one, following a discussion surrounding your particularities, etc. We love every one of you, and there's nothing you can do about it. We will see you next time, and we will conclude with a singing of the national anthem, which is all about what it is you should do in the morning when you get up and have your first meal. If you're going to have breakfast, what do you think you should have for breakfast, boys and girls? 2, 3, 4. Steak and eggs and eggs and steak. That's what you should have for breakfast.
Oh, fuck!
Sorry.
Jesus!
You got to say delicious now.
Leave me alone.
Say delicious.
Fuck off.
Anybody that wants a job on the channel that will say delicious, Grandad will do it, perhaps. Let me know, as long as you don't mind a bit of physical abuse, a bit of pain and suffering. Oh,
go away.
Go away. All right, it's been fun. See you next week. Don't do anything we would.